We are 2 weeks from Saturday. LSU is going to play Clemson up in South Carolina, as you well know. And there are two key Clemson football players that are battling injuries here in preseason camp that are worth noting. So today, Thursday, Clemson had a scrimmage. It was their second scrimmage of fall camp. And in the first scrimmage, which was on August the 9th, so 6 days ago or 5 days ago, according to the Clemson Insider, veteran offensive lineman Walker Parks was injured. Now, the nature of the injury was undisclosed, but there are multiple reports that Parks has been seen using crutches over the last week since that scrimmage. After Thursday's practice, Dabo had media availability with reporters, and he was asked for an update on Walker Parks, and he didn't have a whole lot to say.
Oh, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll be good to go. He didn't go today. We held him today, but he'll be all right.
He'll be all right. He'll be good to go. He didn't go today. We held him, but he'll be all right. Okay. If you're not familiar, so Walker Parks is he was All-ACC last year, and he's preseason All-ACC this year, and he could become this season just the second 6-year letter winner in Clemson football history. So his history there, Walker Parks, he has played in, this is significant, he's their starting right guard. He has played in 53 games with 42 starts, okay? Like, he was a freshman during the COVID year and played in 11 games. He carved out a role as a rotational guy. It was actually a freshman All-America in the COVID season in 2020. And then he ends up becoming a starter in 21 and 22, starting all 13 games. Then in 23, he suffers an injury and plays in just 2 games. So he comes back last year for his 5th season because he had the COVID year, plays his 5th season, and starts all 14 games for Clemson last year. And now this year is back taking advantage of his redshirt year, right? So the COVID year effectively didn't count. 23 was a redshirt year for him when he was injured, and now he's back for his 6th season, the redshirt year and the COVID year. So 53 games played, 42 games started. If he starts the regular season for Clemson this year every game, he will exceed 60 career games played, which is just an astonishing amount of college football for one player. Just the experience, but also he's been very good. Like I said, he was all-conference offensive lineman last year. So I don't know the nature of the injury, and there's some times that guys are in boots or on crutches, and it's just precautionary. Like, I think we're conditioned to see a boot and to overreact. I guess I've just been out there enough to see it to know that's a stabilizing mechanism. Guys who aren't hurt a ton will be in a boot. I mean, let me give you a different sport, an analogy in a different sport that might make this make sense. So, like, there have been gymnasts on the LSU team that'll be in a boot during the week, and then they'll compete on Friday. Well, it's just a stabilization thing during the week so that they can get them ready to go compete. And that's likely what they're going to do with Walker Parks. So when a guy's played in 53 career games, I trust Dabo when he says he's going to be all right and they're going to get him out there. But then again, he's not letting the media see practice, so I don't know. And if you do remove a piece there on the interior, like Walker Parks, it's just a significant drop-off in experience and productivity there. And the other thing that is really impactful is that's the spot this year throughout fall camp that we have primarily seen Bernard Gooden line up against. Now, you've heard me talk about Bernard Gooden. You heard Blake Baker talk about Bernard Gooden the other day as well. And he's a guy that everybody has struggled to block. Pull up Blake Baker, please, for Monday. On Bernard Gooden. I want to play that soundbite as well, because I think it's in it's probably in Alondra's folder for Monday. Josh Thompson has been LSU's first team right guard throughout fall camp, and that's a guy that's an experienced player that was started the last 2 years in the Big Ten at Northwestern, comes to LSU, arrived late in the spring just because of the way that the semesters work at Northwestern. So really just diving into it now. But Josh Thompson's been very good. He just can't block Bernard Gooden. And this was Blake Baker talking about Bernard Gooden on Monday.
Bernard Gooden has been a joy in every sense of the word to coach. He is high energy. Y'all probably hear him more than anyone on the field. But in today's game, you even look in the NFL, there's not many, a lot of really, really successful defensive tackles are going to be between 280 and 305 pounds. The thing that he does really well, because he is so twitchy and has such good get-off, his second foot's in the ground before the offensive lineman. So even though he might be giving up 30 pounds, he's able to get leverage and get power, and the offensive lineman doesn't have his second foot in the ground. So, one of the things that we did through the evaluation process, obviously being an undersized guy, is really evaluate him hard against the run, and we really liked what we saw, and we really, really like what we see up to this point. He's done a great job creating havoc and holding point.
That was Blake Baker talking about Bernard Gooden. This was Gooden talking about being an undersized defensive tackle.
Yeah, I feel like one of the best D-linemen I look up to is Aaron Donald. Everybody used to say that about him, and look where he at now. So I feel like that don't mean nothing no more. So.
Guy compared himself to Aaron Donald. I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald. I don't think he's saying he's Aaron Donald. But the point being, when you have a guy that is, quote-unquote, undersized playing on the interior, that's the prototype for how you do it. You want to be explosive and powerful on the interior, and that's what he does. By the way, you heard Blake Baker say it as well. His mouth never stops, and you hear him. I think the way Blake Baker says, you guys probably hear him. He never shuts up. I told you this early in camp. There was one day I was watching the one-on-one pass rush drills, and Bernard Gooden was going against, I believe it was DJ Chester. I don't have my notes in front of me right now, and he was just shouting about being held and using every word you can imagine. And at one point, Kyle Williams finally just said, "Man, shut up and play football." His mouth never stops. This was Gooden talking about trash talking nuts.
Just football talk. Some things that we talk about. Just getting at the other guy, trying to get in his head, throw him off his game. Just a couple friendly words.
That's what he's doing. I told you this 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna repeat it. Remember when it happens where you heard it. Someone is going to retaliate against this guy. He is going to draw flags this year from offensive players that hit him in the face mask, shove him after the whistle, because they're going to be sick of hearing him talk because he never shuts up. But it's the guy, it's like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. When he's on your team, you love him. When he's on the other team, you hate him. That's kind of the feeling I get here. But all this to say, if I bring it back full circle, we're talking about a guy in Walker Parks from Clemson who's going to be his 6th year at Clemson. He's been a starter since his 2nd year there. So we're talking about being a 5-year starter at Clemson. And even if he plays, if you're going to tell me Walker Parks is even limited a little bit in some way, and he's going to have to line up against Bernard Gooden, who you heard Blake Baker say he's got his second foot in the ground before most offensive linemen get their first foot down. That could be a problem. You want to circle one to watch? That's one to circle on August the 30th. Even if Walker Parks plays, even if he's good to go and plays, he's limited in any way. And you're talking about a bum wheel. He's got a flat tire somewhere along the way, and he's got to go up against Bernard Gooden. That's a problem. One other injury worth noting that Dabo talked about, again, just downplayed, but Adam Randall. So Adam Randall's a converted wide receiver, but remember, for Clemson, Phil Maffa, their running back from a year ago, ran for 1,100 yards. Phil Maffa's gone, so that's really the one really, really productive guy that they're losing on their team. And so Randall is now converting from receiver to running back and is expected to be the starter. So over his career at Clemson, he's got 48 catches for 533 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this year, they're moving him to running back, and he's expected to be the team's starting running back. Well, he was seen practicing earlier this week in a yellow no-contact jersey. Tiger Illustrated was the first to report that. Dabo said no concerns there about Randall's injury, that he'll be good to go. But again, just things worth filing away and watching as we're 2 weeks out from the opener with LSU and Clemson. A couple injuries worth keeping an eye on. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.